the poor closer to God.
They grew up in the world's most famous family, Charles, Anne, Andrew and Edward. We all know who they are, but what have they done with their lives? Have they been worth it to the taxpayer? And now the focus is on a new generation of royals. What are they for?
Paxman on the Queen's Children. Starts Tuesday at 9 on Channel 5.
Sick, injured and orphaned animals get a little helping hand now here on Channel 5 in Wildlife SOS.
One of Britain's busiest wildlife rescue and rehabilitation centres is at Leatherhead in Surrey. Simon Cowell leads the team of volunteers.
At Wildlife Aid, during the course of a year, we see many different types of British wildlife. We receive a lot of patients brought in to us by members of the public, but we are often called out to rescue animals from all sorts of situations in the wild. In this episode, I encounter an unfamiliar occupant of a dustbin. We check on the family of hedgehogs that I retrieved from a garden shed. We were called out to a wandering ferret. And we look at the progress of the badger that was rescued from the fox hearth. Susan has to deal with an unusual patient, and some baby robins are brought into the centre. And we see the fate of a fox that is riddled with maggots.
Well, we haven't eaten this chip. His eyes were very piggy last week. Oh, they're open now.
This is the badger that I rescued from a fox earth.
I want you running around too. Grasp him, put him in the corner, and we'll all stand up on there.
As with all our long-term patients, our veterinary surgeons continually monitor their progress so that we can best assess the earliest time we can release them back to the wild.
A lot healthier.
Yeah, looks
The eyes are a lot brighter. Yeah, because they were so tiny. The coat is improved no end. They were so tiny and piggy last week.
We can only assume the injuries to this badger were due to a road traffic accident, and now all is healing well, including the abrasions around his eyes, which Joyce was today checking.
Skin round this one's still a bit swollen. The left eye's better. The hair's growing back. Let me just see your nose, sweetheart. That's good. No, that's all right. That's right.
Male.
Nice look at your tummy. That's good.
Do you want to get out and
Can I just, I'd like to just see him move.
He wants to get out of the way.
Doopa-doopa-doo. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
The grasper in no way harms the badger, whose neck is immensely strong.
Right, Simon, run back to join us. There we are.
The difference in this creature from the night we collected it was staggering, and it would only be a short time before he could be released.
That's good. Didn't he drop beautifully? Look at that.
Oh, it's got the gap underneath.
You may remember the mother hedgehog and her 4 tiny babies I collected from a lady's garden shed. Well, after a couple of weeks, it was necessary to undertake a speedy but important visual inspection.
We'll see how these are getting on, Christine. How long have they been in here now since we last looked? About a week plus, isn't it?
I think so. It should be a reasonable size.
Well-sized. Mum's coming out every night for food, but we haven't seen the babies, which is not surprising. I'm sure the babies are now too big for Mum to think she might eat them, which is a good thing. They're really doing well. Still got 4 babies, all doing beautifully well. They're nice and prickly. And well on it. I wouldn't thought it'd be long now before they come out. It might be worth putting some Simicat milk in for them tonight, just so if they come out they can have something to drink.
That's really cacao.
They're really nice, look.
It had been necessary to leave them alone at first, as sadly, if disturbed, the mother will sometimes eat the young. To allow us to monitor the progress during this period of isolation, we use closed-circuit television. And here you can see the mother hedgehog coming out for food. Closed-circuit television also allows us an opportunity to see some unique and fascinating events that would otherwise go unnoticed. For example, look closely and you will see the mother carrying a baby in her mouth to a newly prepared nest that she had made. As the numbers of urban foxes increase, so do our calls to help them.
You can shut the gate. Okay. All right, sweetheart.
Normally, urban foxes, even if injured, are very fast to escape. But in this instance, this fox was very uncoordinated and obviously in great distress. Foxes do have a very nasty bite, and if cornered or confronted, they will defend themselves. So as usual, the grasper is the only safe and sensible method to catch an animal in this situation.
Oh, huge wound on the neck as well. Oh, sweetheart, you are in a state. Oh, it's full of maggots. It's a put to sleep job, I'm afraid. We'll put him in the cage. I know. Come on, I know.
Sadly, when maggot infestation is so deep and the animal is so debilitated, there is no hope of full recovery. Even in situations such as this, it is vital that people call us, as their actions save these poor creatures many weeks of agonisingly slow death.
Good boy. He's in a terrible state, I'm afraid. He's got wounds on the neck which have got very mature maggots in, which are horrible. Yeah.
Look, so it didn't look happy at all. I mean, it was twitching and everything.
I'm afraid
I'm glad you've got it.
it's a put to sleep job, I'm afraid.
I said that, didn't I? I thought that might have been.
I could do it here. It's not even worth putting him under the stress of travelling him back. I'm putting him to sleep.
So it didn't look at all well.
To put an animal to sleep, we use a massive dose of anaesthetic. This causes the animal no pain and just allows it to pass away peacefully.
I know. Let go. Let go. He's a good boy. Come on. I just had a call from a lady who has a ferret in her garden, or she's seen a ferret. It's now wandered off, but she thinks it might be blind, so I think it's probably a cross polecat ferret. Hi.
Ferrets have been domestic pets in this country for many years, but sadly they all too often escape, or worse still, people let them go.
What's the matter? Are you going to be a friendly ferret or an unfriendly ferret? Shall we find out? A pretty ferret. Hey, come on in.
Little did I realise that this cute little chap would become such a personality at the centre, as we shall see in future episodes.
Hello. Come on in. Come on, look. Come on in. What's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter? Oh, what's the matter? Oh. Hey, you've got a tick on your back? Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Come on in, here's a good fella. Here we are. What's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter? You've only got one eye, haven't you? Hey? You've only got one eye. You're quite cute. Not really British wildlife, but near enough. Here you are, sweetheart. Go in the cage for a minute, and we'll take you home and sort you out. Hey? You've got a tick on your back, haven't you? What you doing? You're a friendly ferret. You haven't bitten me yet. What you doing? See, the vet's coming in this afternoon, so we'll show her to the vet. We'll get you back to your rightful home as soon as we can. Oh, it's quite painless, wasn't it?
Back at the centre, I took the ferret out of the cage and he ran up my arm onto my back, suggesting that he was very used to people.
I brought you a present.
Oh, is he all right?
He's
Not bite me.
blinding, well, no, he's healed. She seems quite sweet. He's got a tickle something up the neck. He's got a lot of fleas. I think he's blind in his left eye too. Doesn't seem to work at all.
Uncle Simon holds you tight while Auntie pulls out this nasty.
That means I have to get bitten, doesn't it?
Aren't they wriggling?
It does wriggle.
Just a tick, hang on.
At this stage, all he needed was a quick check over, tick removal and a deflea.
There we are, underneath. There you go.
Yeah, was it that bad? It wasn't that bad, was it? So, well, I just don't know where I belong.
The next move was to put him into his new accommodation and give him plenty to eat as he was out of condition. We would continue to monitor his progress and would try to find a suitable home for him.
So dinner. Let's go there and have a look. Yeah, 35 seconds when he starts to smell chicks. Oh, food, that's much better.
It's one of Britain's most successful airlines.
If it wasn't for Ryanair, we'd never be able to go anywhere.
But what is it about them that makes us so cross?
We must have spent nearly £2,000.
The inside story of the brand so many love to hate.
Thank you, Mrs. McLeod, but it was your...
Ryanair, Britain's most hated airline. Next Thursday at 9 on Channel 5.
It's been called one of the 7 wonders of the modern world.
But nobody really thought that they would be able to finance it.
It divided the nation. The project was on a knife edge.
I was the first one to cross that line into France.
It's an amazing story.
Building the Channel Tunnel, 25 years on. Starts Monday at 9 on Channel 5.
Water birds are another of our regular emergencies, and usually because of fishing tackle. Malcolm, one of our most experienced rescuers, was called out to a Canada goose whose legs had got caught in fishing line.
There's a bit of bread there.
See the goose at the back there. It's definitely got line round both legs. She's having a job to walk. They're not interested in the food, more particularly for the goslings.
You think you can catch her? Go for her.
Experience, speed and agility in this type of rescue is vital, and Malcolm, as always, gives of his all. Now let's just enjoy that truly heroic dive again. It is at this point that the determination becomes honed to its peak. Malcolm's blood pressure rises and he will get his man, or in this case, his goose. The swan hook, as always, is usually the best method of capturing these elusive birds.
Right. Hope I've got the right one.
Definitely, yeah. Let's have a look.
There is a blue pair of clippers in my back pocket.
This one?
Yeah.
That's all right, Ed. Snip that. Okay.
Ticklish. Ticklish.
That one seems to be all clear now.
Yeah.
It's grazed it a little bit there, but it's not really noticeable.
It's not deep, is it?
No. So look at this one. It's all right, Pat. Right, I mean, it's dug in again around there. All around there it's dug around, but it's not...
Is the line out of there, you sure?
Yeah.
It's not
No, it's definitely just skin there.
Be better, babes, wouldn't it?
It's everything out.
Blood pressure back to normal, Malcolm smiling, goose returned to lake. All is as it should be. There is one particular type of call-out that never fails to make me nervous, and that is a call about a snake. Good afternoon, Mrs. Ingram.
That's right.
You've got
yes.
a snake.
We have indeed.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. I'm terrified of snakes, but there we are. We'll do our best. We'll have a look.
Well, I wasn't that impressed when I saw it either.
British snakes, no problem, but escaped exotics are not my speciality.
It was nestling on that green
there it
sap.
is. It's not a British snake, which means I am going to ring my friend at Chessington Zoo, and he will tell me whether or not I can pick it up. I'm standing in a garden at Walton-on-Thames, staring into a dustbin in which there is a snake. And I don't think it's a British snake. Its body is sort of what I would call a lighty, orangey, browny colour with big red blodges. What am I looking at?
From my description, Chris thought it may be a coral snake, which is poisonous.
Oh, lovely. Right. OK, thanks very much. Bye. Right, we'll retrieve the whole dustbin. We will bring it back to you. and I'll take it to Chris Anscombe. I mean, I'm just a devout coward with snakes. If I knew it wasn't poisonous, I'd have no worries. But because I'm not sure and I don't know my exotic species, I'm going to play safe. So I'll go and get some gaffer tape from the car and just stop the lid falling off. Yes. It's probably the most harmless snake in the entire world. It's probably twice as scared as we are, actually. If I know him, I'm happy. Right, we're going to remove your dustbin.
That's all right.
We will bring it back.
Next stop, Chessington Zoo and Chris Anscombe.
Now, if you take the Michael out of me for this, I'm going to kill you.
Would I do a thing like that?
You know I love snakes, they're my favourite things. This is why the dustbin is sealed with about 6 miles of gaffer tape.
Right, could be something. You never know what it is, do you? So discretion is always the better part of the day.
Yeah, I mean, if it was British, I wouldn't have any worries, but I never know what...
There's a rattlesnake.
No, it's not one of those.
Or something. It's really, really interesting.
Right, are we ready for this? There it is.
North America.
They're not at all poisonous,
Yeah.
so I could have picked it up with absolutely no worry at all.
Yeah, they can occasionally attempt to bite you. That one, I don't usually worry about such things.
Do many people keep those here?
Yeah, very common.
Got thousands of them, hundreds of thousands of them.
And they're great escape artists.
And is he young or sort of a normal age?
Adults are about 3 feet.
Right.
And about...
And he's about what? 2 foot? A little bit less?
It's about 2 foot, but he's you know, I mean, they can get to about 2 feet in 3 years, and then they start slowing down.
And if they bite you, it doesn't matter?
No, you can't get his mouth in your hands.
Apparently it's been in there for 3 or 4 days. They've just been too scared to do anything about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it is sensible, because if you don't know what something is, you leave it alone.
Yeah,
That's exactly
sure.
what I would do. Treat it as if it is poisonous.
As if it's poisonous.
And then, at least then, if you know, you haven't got the worries.
Look at the trouble you've caused us, Snake. Look at the trouble. I'm very hungry, so I'd quite like a meal. Are you happy to keep him, Chris? Do you want one for your displays?
I'll put him in with the other one I've got.
Many of our nighttime calls come from local police forces. On this occasion, I was called by Dorking Police because they had seen an injured deer at the roadside.
Right. How many of these actually survive every time they come out?
About, I suppose, 50%. 50%. Which isn't as good as we'd hoped, but roe deer have only got to see an accident and they're just about dying.
Deer, sadly, are very susceptible to shock, and fast action is imperative.
No, just get its head covered. Don't worry about the back. You can't see. It won't come to any harm.
In this case, the injuries look severe, but we would not know the full extent of the damage until we could carry out a fuller examination back at the centre.
Right, can you sit in the back, Morgan? He's coming in. Okay, got the front end. All right. Okay. Come on, answer the phone.
Hello, Wildlife SOS, can I help you?
Is that Helen?
Yeah.
It's Simon. Coming back with this deer.
Yeah.
Can you make sure, A, there's a deer shed ready for it?
Right.
And B, can you find a litre bag of sodium chloride and glucose and get that warm? Right. Come on in. Come on. It's going back just the inside. Sweetheart. It's got a massive broken ribs.
Straight away, I could feel numerous fractured ribs, and the fact that the deer was putting its head back along its body is always a very bad sign. Over the years, we have found that this action is a definite indicator that the deer is giving up its fight for life, which is always very distressing for us. Whilst we always do everything possible for our patients, the animal must also have the will to survive. Because of all the damage, sadly, there was only one solution, and that was to put the deer to sleep.
Too much. I'm just loading syringe now with Pentaject, which is a very large dose of an anaesthetic. I'm afraid many of our call-outs are like this. It's something that we can't help in the way we'd like to, that is to get it better and get it back out to the wild, but we are able to help by putting it to sleep. A deer of this sort of size Could have lived for some weeks, maybe at worst, with a stowed-in rib cage, a lot of internal bleeding, and had the most horrendous death. So we were able at least to put him to sleep. Maybe not with too much dignity, but as quick as we possibly can.
Hello.
Hi.
These baby birds.
Yes, they are.
You've been watching them today.
The nest was on the floor.
They're little robins.
Yeah, we thought they were. The nest was on the floor.
Yeah.
And so we lifted and we've got a dog, you see, and he was like nosing at them.
Oh, sweetheart, you're very lively, aren't you? Look at that hairdo. Aren't you beautiful? The trouble is, when the nest has been messed up like that, there's, you know, it's all destroyed. They won't go near them again, will they? You stay there. This is the one that's worrying me because he's very quiet. What's happened to you? Well, you look all right. There's no marks on you. You sit in there and see if Corey can give you anything to eat. There's another one here. I just have to put him in there. You feel so helpless, and if you leave them, you know that something's going to get them. Because the cats always senses. They know the sound, don't they?
In the garden as well.
Yes, and they know the sound, cats, of birds in distress. Once they've got their feathers, it's pretty, you know, not easy, but we can rear them. When they're coming bald, it's very, very difficult. But they've got a good chance, yes, of surviving.
As a wildlife centre, people bring to us all sorts of animals, including things like this, a toad.
Oh my word, that's quite gross, isn't it? I'm not squeamish in the slightest, but that is alright, not very nice.
Susan, who was on duty, immediately saw that the toad was totally tangled in netting. So much so that it had cut right into the body, distorting its entire shape.
Jeepers, look at that.
A very delicate piece of netting removal from Susan's steady hand soon relieved the toad of its intolerable burden.
Oh, it's a bit upsetting as well, isn't it, to be honest? Hey mate, I bet that felt better. Oh no, so that's the first bit around the big bit around the middle. Oh sweetheart, I bet that feels better. In fact, girls, would one of you mind taking the gentleman's details? I really think I am going to have to keep him here because I think he's going to be in such shock of, you know, getting the blood pumping back to parts of him. All right, mate, all right. All right, now that's why you're going to get yourself all more tangled up, aren't you? I know you're feeling better already. That's a big relief. Yes! That's going to feel better. Has he broken this front leg? Oh dear. No, oh, it's come forward again. It's been tied back like that. Yes. It's going to be a little bit of physio, I think he's going to need. I've never done physio on a toad, actually. It's the first time for everything, isn't there? Oh, he's quite... Oh, that must feel better. Bless his heart. And there's been quite a bit of damage. Look at that. I mean, look how it's cut in. It's amazing. It's like that skin is so tough. If that had been a hedgehog, or, you know, it would have gone through, wouldn't it? That skin saved him. Yes, please, would I kiss you? You might become my prince. Just this one little leg. I mean, he's obviously got a bit... You know, I think everything's got pushed out a little bit. This is when I need to have lots of flies, and I need to have the fly swat, and I have to go around zapping flies on the wall and drop them in there for them. But typical, there's no blooming flies today. Never mind. I'll go and find you some flies, mate. I will. This is just oxytetracycline, which is a broad spectrum antibiotic, and I'm just going to put a little bit in the water, just in case there's any problems for him. You just have to be there. I just want to keep him quiet overnight. I don't want him leaping around too much. There we go. Is this going to fit in? Is he going to like it? How about...
All that remained was for Susan to prepare toad-like accommodation for his recuperation with us.
There you go, Poppet. You can go in there, look. In the garage. There you go. Parked.
Sally Lindsay and Nigel Havers are checking in.
You've missed a bit there.
To experience 5-star service, both upstairs and downstairs.
Oh, my heavens. What have we got here?
Posh Hotels with Sally and Nigel. Starts Friday at 9 on Channel 5.
This Monday, join 5 fairy friends. We're going to open a cafe as they set out to make the world a little tastier.
Delicious.
But someone is out to spoil the fun. It'll take a helping of teamwork and a dash of magic.
Wow.
To make their cafe a success.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Butterbean's Cafe, the brand new show, this Monday at 4:30, only on Nick Jr.
Look at that, milkshakers. It's 6 o'clock, which means it's milkshake time! Brand new today, there's Digby Dragon and also Whisper. But right now, we're off to a lighthouse in today's Pepper.
Fancy going camping, Boo?
A week stuck with you? No thanks.
Yeah, it could be intense. Milkshake, sponsored by very.co.uk.
I'm Peppa Pig. This is my little brother George. This is Mummy Pig. And this is Daddy Pig. Peppa Pig. Grumpy Rabbit's Lighthouse.
Peppa, George and Danny are having a day out on Grandad Dog's boat.
Can we go to Pirates Island today?
Yes, Danny. But first, we've got to deliver supplies to my friend, Grampy Rabbit.
Where does Grampy Rabbit live?
On a rock.
On a rock?
Yes, in that lighthouse.
Ooh.
Ahoy there, matey! I brought your supplies.
Oh, thank you, Grandad Dog.
I've got my crew with me today. Danny, Peppa and George.
Visitors? I haven't had visitors in many a moon. I get a bit lonely with just the sea and sky for company.
How long have you been here?
Since Tuesday.
Oh.
I've got tales to tell, if you'd like to hear.
No, thanks.
Yes, please.
Well, there's the sea and the sky, and I'm learning the banjo. Would you like to hear a song?
No, thanks.
Yes, please.
I got up this morning. The sea was still there. So was the sky. The sea, the sky, the sea, the sky.
Here's your cheese.
Oh, I've missed cheese.
And a new book.
How to run a lighthouse. Oh, that'll come in handy.
Why is your house called a lighthouse?
I'll show you, Pepper.
The staircase goes round and round to the very top of the lighthouse.
Round and round and round.
It's called a lighthouse because it has this big light at the top.
Wow!
It shines through the dark, helping sailors to find their way.
Ooh.
And when it's foggy, I use this foghorn. Fog!
That's loud.
No fog today, just sea and sky. The stories I could tell...
No, thank you. We've got to go.
We're sailing to Pirate Island. Goodbye, Grampy Rabbit.
Enjoy the sea and the sky!
Hello.
Grandad Dog's boat has arrived at Pirate Island.
Look, our sandcastle is still here. Let's play hide and seek.
OK. 1, 2...
There are not many places to hide on Pirate Island.
5. Ready or not, here I come. Found you.
Oh.
Now, where's George?
Grandad Dog cannot find George anywhere.
I give up. Where is he?
Boo!
George was hiding behind Grandad Dog.
Clever George. Let's set off home before it gets dark.
Oh, it is getting dark.
Don't worry. The light from Grampy Rabbit's lighthouse will show us the way home.
Grampy Rabbit is ready for bed.
Ah, my new book, How to Run a Lighthouse. Chapter 1. I'll read the rest tomorrow. Better turn the light out.
Oh, where did the light go?
Do you know what time it is? I've just turned the lights out.
Yes, we know. Could you turn the big light on again?
Oh, sorry!
Hooray!